anybody watching? Hello, is anyone watching? Is anyone watching? Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live. This is actually my very first live here on YouTube, and I am just testing out some couple of things. And while I do the testing, I would love to talk about some things I discovered recently about typing job. So if you are on, I can see someone saying hello. You're welcome to my live. This is actually my very first live on YouTube. So you're very welcome. And Oscar, you're the very first person I've seen. Thank you for joining in. So what I want to talk about today is about typing job and the social media platform, which I think is the least place that anybody who is looking for typing job may possibly get to see one. You're welcome, Oscar. I can see your message. So recently I signed up to a social media platform, and I was really shocked to see that one can actually get to see some work from home jobs from the social media platform. So today I decided to go live because I want to talk about this social media platform. I'm going to talk about what I think are the pros and the cons in case you're going to be considering, looking for typing jobs or any work from home job at all from this social media platform. So it is not LinkedIn, like it is different from LinkedIn. So, and like I said earlier, when I discovered that, I was really shocked to see that something like that is actually existing because I just signed up. So first of all, the good thing about this is that most of the people that are posting jobs on this social media platform, they are posting it because this is their job. Like most of them are looking for people to work for them personally. Others are looking for people to come on board in their company. Maybe their companies are looking for a particular position and they decided to advertise it on this social media platform. And in other cases, it could be they heard about this job and they decided to share. It's not every day you get to see jobs on social media platforms, and knowing that this platform is not LinkedIn, it's another fascinating thing. So here is my take about these jobs. The good thing about it is that you get to see the person that is advertising. You get to ask questions directly to this person, like you get to know details about the job, and you get to feel free, comfortable, talking to the person. And most times what the conversation does not really require you to do some official thing like submit your CV and all those kind of stuff. You can just chat with the person, and if the person likes your aura or sees your CV or portfolio as something that is good enough for them, then you're asked to come on board. But the other good thing also, before I talk about the bad one, is that they get to see you if you're a real person. And some jobs these days, like I have noticed, they tend to ghost people when they have gotten value from the person. Especially for us that are freelancers, in some cases you pitch your, what you are capable of doing or the ideas you're capable of bringing to the table, and the next minute you're ghosted. Like you don't get to hear from them again. So those are the things that you cannot really, experience when you're having this, because you are keeping everything as direct as possible. You don't have any third party coming on board to join. Like in all these platforms that I mentioned in some of my videos, you must go through them before you get to the person that is actually hiring. So, but this one is you're talking to the person that's actually hiring directly. The person gets to know you. You know, if it's not something that is going to work, they're going to tell you immediately, like, the conversation will not go that far. But if it's something that is going to work, they don't really waste time, and they are just blunt. They will tell you everything. So I'm also going to share with you this social media platform, so you can quickly sign up and, you know, start looking for jobs. But before then, let's talk about the downside of these social media platforms. Like, from what I feel, you know, because it's not a well-known site that you can actually, you know, vet the jobs, or you can actually talk to people. I mean, there is a body that is responsible for these jobs. Please, if you have joined in, say hello. I'm seeing some of the messages. I would love to give you a shout out, like I've given to Oscar. He's the first person that came on board. So these social media platforms, like I mentioned, it's the cons about the jobs there is you don't have any reliable third party that if anything goes wrong, you can actually ask for help, or you can complain. You know, it's you and the person, and you stand a high risk of getting scammed. And talking about getting scammed, I'm going to share the tips that you're going to put in place if you're considering, you know, applying to jobs on this place. And for the pros, again, I just remember this now. You don't have much competition because it's not everybody that is aware of these jobs. Like, the jobs that you see there is actually needed urgently. So the very first few persons that, you know, apply, these are the people that are likely to get the jobs. So you don't really have much competition like you have in some of these platforms that are well known, and people keep, you know, submitting their CVs and their portfolios. The competitions keep getting high. But this one, you don't, it's just you and the very few persons that are able to, you know, get to hear about these jobs. They're the ones that are usually asked to come on board. So that is another pros. So talking about the cons again, like I mentioned, you don't have any third party that you can actually hold accountable should anything go wrong. It's just you and the person that is posting the job. The second cons is that you don't know how genuine these jobs are. You don't really tell, like, if it's actually a real job or someone that's posting it has some other ulterior motive in mind. And you don't know how to verify the jobs. So that's another thing. And another thing is, in most cases, people just post this thing, and when you try to get more information from them, they don't really tend to, you know, respond properly. Like, I was going through the comment section of the people that posted some of these jobs, and I was seeing that most of them are not really, you know, responding to most messages from people that are asking them about to know more about the job. It's just very few persons that were responding. So that is another cons about the job. And another thing is location. In some cases, they are specific. Like the ones I saw, most of them are talking about jobs in the United States, like people in the United States. It's just very few that are looking for people all over the world, regardless of where you are. As long as you can speak and write in English language, they are willing to, you know, accept you to come on board with them. So those are some of the, you know, issues you tend to have if you are going to be applying to the jobs on these platforms. Now, another good thing about this platform is that if you're lucky enough, you can stay wherever you are and get employed. You can stay in Nigeria and you'll be talking to somebody in the United States, because it's a social media platform, and people from all over the world are having accounts on this social media platform. So you can stay in Nigeria, talk to somebody in the United States, make sure it is genuine. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to share with you the tip you need to, you know, put in place while applying to these jobs, so that you know you're not getting scammed, because that's another thing. Because I also noticed, as someone that works as a freelancer, most of the people in the United States are always looking for cheap labor. You know, the margin between dollar and naira is very high, and they're always looking for people from African countries or people that their currency is not as much as the dollar. For them, it's a cheap labor. So once they find such people and they think the person is good enough, what they do is they strike the deal with the person. But the good thing, again, is that you tend to have a relationship. Like I have a friend who was gifted a laptop from her client in the United States. And she was exceptionally good. Like she was really, really good. And the woman was not expecting that from an average African, you know. So she did really, really well, and she gave her lots of value, and she had to send her, you know, some laptops to use to do the job because she was always complaining of not having a good laptop. So those are some of the things you stand to gain, but you have to bear in mind that this situation is usually rare. Like they don't really come often, you know, so it might not really work like that for everybody, but if you're lucky and you have value to offer to people, you stand a good chance of, you know, getting something to work out for you. So people from the United States, they're really good at that. Even in Upwork, they will always look for people from, you know, all these low countries with that their currency is low compared to the dollar, because for them it's cheaper compared to paying people that are going to be paid in dollars, like, because they always equate it based on the labor laws in the country where their workers are coming from. So that is another thing you need to consider. So let's talk about the type of job I saw. So the type of job I saw on these platforms are usually typing job. People are looking for personal typists that will help them with data entry especially. So you see, if you're good with entering data, and like I used to mention, you have to be repeating something. It's a job that comes in repetitive pattern. Please, if you've joined in, say hello. I would love to see who that are already on board with us. So these people that, the jobs that I mentioned is usually data entry jobs. People are looking for people that will help them arrange their jobs in spreadsheets. Like it makes life a whole lot easier when you have the things you're supposed to do arranged on a spreadsheet, and people are, you can easily look through and you see the page you're on, and you can, you know, get to put your work together. So they're always looking for people that can do data entry jobs for them. That is the typing job that are usually available on this platform. Another one is virtual assistant. I've talked about virtual assistant before. Now, if you're in Africa and you want to acquire virtual assistant skill free for free within 8 weeks, you should sign up to ALS virtual assistant course. It is for free. I have a video where I have talked about how you can get on board and everything you need to know about this job, about this skill. So if you're in Africa, you should consider ALS Africa and sign up with them. The virtual assistant course there is completely for free. So the virtual assistant job is the job that that are always available on this platform. Another job that are always available is a personal assistant. Now, this one and virtual assistant works hand in hand. In fact, they are almost the same thing. But in some cases, for the personal assistant, you may have to be on ground. So they will tell you they need somebody in their location, someone that is where they're staying. So you can, they can meet with you and then do whatever you're supposed to do for them. So for the ones that are virtual, you can stay in your country and work for somebody in another country. And remember, I told you, these jobs have less competition because the people that post them want urgent hiring. And in most cases, not everybody is aware of this. So that's why I'm bringing it to your attention. So if you don't have any account on this social media platform that I'm going to mention towards the end of this live session, you should quickly create one. And once you create one, you should start looking for jobs on these platforms because people keep posting jobs on a daily basis there. So if you have typing skill, like I mentioned, you have to know your typing speed. Most of them require you to know your typing speed. So you have to use typingtest.com, like I mentioned in my videos, and from there you get to check your typing speed, and you can use that, to put yourself together. If you have a portfolio, which is very, very important. For those that don't know, portfolio is a collection of the jobs you have done and how you were able to do them. so that you can share it with your potential clients and they can get to know more about you and what you can do. Now, another type of job that I usually available on this website are things like digital marketing type of jobs, or all these freelance tech related type of freelance jobs, like website design, US UI design type of job. Those are the type of jobs that you're going to be seeing, and any other type of jobs that may be available. So you have to open your mind. And like I said, you have to have a skill, you have to know your typing speed, you have to have an elevator pitch. Yes, I've talked about elevator pitch before. This is what you have to tell your potential clients to see why you are the best fit for the job compared to every other person available. So that is the things you have to put together to start, before you start, you know, looking for these jobs and even applying. Now, if you don't know how to put your virtual your elevator pitch together, you can use ChatGPT, but you can't. You have to tell ChatGPT about yourself when you're writing the prompt. You have to tell ChatGPT about yourself, about what you can do and what you have done, so that ChatGPT can put something together for you, and then you copy it, you memorize it. The reason why you're going to memorize it is if there is need for you to say it out, you should be able to say it out. If there is need for you to type it and send, you should be able to type it and send, regardless of the time or wherever it is or the situation it is, so that you know that you're prepared at all times. Now, that being said, the platform is Thread. Thread is like Twitter, but it's owned by Mark Zuckerberg. Like, it's affiliated with Instagram. That is the platform, Thread. So if you don't have any account on Thread, you should go and create account. If you have Instagram account, you can link it with Thread. And on Thread, you're going to be looking for work from home jobs on Thread. I wish I could share my screen right now and show you exactly how to do it, but I don't know how to do this sharing screen stuff on live because I'm using my phone. So you have to open an account on Thread. You create accounts, make it professional enough, and then you start looking for work from home jobs there. People keep posting. Like, I recently joined Thread and I was really thrilled to see that people are actually, posting jobs there. And these jobs, like I said, the people that are actually needing these workers are the ones posting these jobs on Thread. So if you don't have any account at all, you should create one. And then once you have created one, you can't just, create account and just to be, looking for a job alone. You should also be making your posts. You can be posting about things you can do. Take, for instance, if you're someone that has UI, UX design skill, you can be posting the jobs you have done there on Thread, and also requesting that you're available for freelance jobs, so that if people that are in need of your service, they can quickly reach out to you. Now, the good thing about posting online is you may be posting and you're not getting any engagement. Like, nobody is liking, nobody is commenting on all those kind of stuff. Don't worry, it doesn't matter. But the good thing is, unconsciously, you are creating an awareness in people's minds. They are seeing your post, but they just don't want to react. And subconsciously, it is registering in their head that this is what this person does. So once they have need for you, it will click. They will quickly remember you, and they will start reaching out to you. And you'll be surprised. Like, you'll be like, I thought nobody was seeing this. But people were actually looking. They were actually seeing all your posts. So regardless of the engagement you're getting, just keep posting and keep searching. And these jobs, like I said, they don't really last. So it means you have to be very active. So now that you've known the type of jobs that are available on this platform, you have also known the pros and the cons. This is my personal opinion based on my experience so far. And now let's talk about how you can try to avert some risks that comes with looking for jobs on this unverified, sources. So one thing you need to know is that when it comes to job search, nobody should ask you to pay any money. That is the global standard everywhere. when it comes to applying for job, looking for job, nobody should ask you to pay money for anything, except in a situation whereby, like, I don't want to talk down on any country, but I know some places they will tell you if you don't bring this amount, you're not going to get this job. They talk about connection and all this kind of stuff. So that does not really apply most times online. If someone is posting for job, posting a job on their platforms, they should not expect people that are applying for these jobs to pay any money. So if anybody asks you to pay any money online to be able to get to be employed, that is a red flag. You should ignore such a person and the job and look for something else. Now, number 2 tip you need to bear in mind is the type of information the person is asking of you. There are basic information that is expected of you to share as a job seeker when it comes to looking for a job. Things like your name, your contact information, your qualification, experience, stuff like that. Even in advanced countries, nobody will ask you about your marital status, your tribe, your ethnicity, or nationality, although in some cases they may ask you about nationality. That is if it matters to them. So, but when it comes to asking for your bank detail and all those stuff that has to do with your finances, please do not go further with them. That is a red flag. So you don't fall victim to people that are scamming people online, or maybe they're asking you anything that has to do with money, maybe your account detail when you're not even sure about getting the job, or you've not even started, or maybe they're asking you about your personal secret numbers, like all those personal numbers that you're not supposed to be sharing with people, password and stuff like that. Please do not go further with them, because that is purely a red flag. Or maybe you start noticing that they're not going the conventional way, like looking at your CV, scheduling an interview, and all those conventional way of job, all those conventional way of employment process. If they are doing something different, you know that is a red flag. So you should quickly look for a way to avoid them. So these are some of the things that you should look out for. And another thing, if you share your let's say your CV with them, and all of a sudden you start getting spam calls or spam messages from people that you don't know that it's a red flag. So you should just withdraw from, if you're still in the process with the person, just withdraw, because what it means is that they have taken your information and they are using it. Another thing, don't keep quiet when you're supposed to be asking some relevant questions. If someone wants to employ you, you should have the right to ask questions. Make your own verification by yourself. Don't just say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, you have to look for a way to safeguard yourself so you don't lose something more than the job that you're applying for. So you have to make sure that these things are in place so that you know that everything that has to do with the job is legit. And if someone is asking you for something that you should not be doing, even if you are applying as a personal assistant and someone is telling you to meet up in an odd hour or in an odd time and stuff like that, that is a red flag. So these are the things you have to watch out for. In as much as you need a job, you should not sound desperate to the person that is intending to hire you, because if they know you're desperate, they know you're weak, they know you're vulnerable, and they're going to prey on your vulnerability. What it means is that they will have to dribble you to make sure that you succumb to whatever is their term. So if you think even if it's going well and they start talking about payment, that maybe I will make a complete video about payment, because this is where people, have problems. If you're going to be doing a job for somebody, especially for those in Nigeria, because I know most of my audience are coming from Nigeria, consider that you need to buy fuel to do the job. When it comes to, charging your gadgets to do the job, you're going to buy data to stay on the internet. So you have to consider this. Of course, your time, you have to consider your time as well, so that you know that if the person says I'm going to pay you $10 per hour. Please convert $10 to your local currency. So if assuming, I don't know how much a dollar is now to naira. It could be close to 1,800 or something like that. So you have to check how much fuel you're going to buy. That is how long it's going to take you to do the job. If someone gives you a typing job that is going to take you like 2 hours to type or 3 hours to type, and you're not having steady power supply, you need to buy fuel to on your generator to do the job. It means you have to charge them for the fuel. You add the fuel, and of course you're going to add the time you're going to spend. That is the job you're doing, the data you're going to use to do the job. So you have to add all these things together. So if someone is telling you $10 per hour, then you convert it to naira and see if you're on the gaining side or you're losing. So that is part of the things you have to put in place before you start the negotiation. Because the truth is, that person that is telling you that they're going to pay you $10 per hour probably would have paid someone in the United States $20 per hour. And it is the same thing you're going to do for them that the person in the United States would do. And almost, in fact, the same energy, the same time, the same typing, everything, that's the same result. So you have to consider all these factors before you agree to any terms of payment. Because in some cases, you might be looking for a job. I'm telling you this now from experience. You might be looking at a particular job and you'll be thinking, oh, it's something easy to do and it's not a big deal. By the time you start doing the job, you will see that it's quite a very big deal, because you will see that the things you were expecting were not things that you are seeing on the reality. So that is another reason why you have to make sure that you put all these things together, consider all these factors before you start agreeing to any term of payment with any potential client, and before you start doing the job. So you don't get deep in the job and then you have this realization, and then you'll be like, oh my God, I have made a very big mistake. So those are the things you have to put in place before you start, doing all these jobs. So if you don't have any accounts on Thread, please go to thread.com, create an account, get your resume and your cover letter ready. And if you have a portfolio, that is an advantage. You get it ready. Know your typing speed. You can do your typing test. And then you stay active. Once anybody applies, you send the person a message. And you can't just send the person a message by just saying something like anyhow, like how much. Like I see a lot of people do it. Like someone can post a job, the next thing you hear is, you see on the messages how much. That is very, very wrong. First of all, you have to introduce yourself and introduce what you're interested in, particularly about the job. Then if the conversation keeps going, then you ask how much. You can't just come and say how much. Most people will ignore you. They will not, talk to you. I know that money is the #1 factor, but you don't just go forward and say how much. So you have to know more about the job before you start asking how much. So that is what you have to put in place first before you get started. So this is the first live I'm doing on YouTube, and if you've learned something so far, please don't fail to like and subscribe to our channel. We are still growing, and I hope to do more lives in the future. And I hope to get to have a way to share my screen as well, so that you will not be left out on anything. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next live.